the issue of abandoning the line of the NRA, the National Resistance Army, is the one which causes all these unnecessary delays and in some cases setbacks. It seems one of the suspect factors in that incident could be again corruption by some of these new players in the army who no longer, who don't have the NRA spirit of patriotism. And they start looking at, because in Somalia, the UN gives allowances, big allowances. Somebody told me that somebody may get about 38 million shillings in a year when they are deployed there. Now, some of these people, they don't look at the mission, they look at the money. So, but the investigation will go on and see, but one suspect thing is that because Somalia is a very dangerous place, if you go there like that, you'll end up with a bad situation for yourself. Now, because of the money, it seems some of our people are selecting people to go to Somalia They don't do what we were doing at the beginning, apparently. I was not following. Because in the beginning, we would get combat units, brigade, this. It goes as a brigade and does the work. That's how they defeated Al-Shabaab in all those areas, in Mogadishu and all over. We have never had any big problem with Al-Shabaab because we are very capable. So they go as a fighting unit. But it seems at some stage, some of the people who organize, they put these bodyguards, secretary, I don't know what do you call them, these who are around here, personal assistant, I don't know what. They put their names there, create sort of ad hoc, instead of having integral units, they create ad hoc groups made of bodyguards, made of what? People from cooks. They say this is now, I think that battalion was called Zulu, it is Battalion Zulu. Now, these people, because Al-Shabaab was very weak, had been weakened, it has not been attacking for a long time, and they couldn't attack a defense of NRA, of UPDF. It is suicidal. But because of that problem of sending welfare cases on a combat mission, we suspect that could be one of the problems. Of course, there can also be other problems, like because the attack started at what you call in your English way 10 past 5, when it was still dark. Now, if people are not well prepared, fighting in the dark can also be another problem. They can just panic for no reason. And yet, there is a way we fight in the dark, it's a well-known way. But Al-Shabaab will pay. The Americans, because we don't have big support forces there, like Air Force and long-range artillery and so on. They have light equipment, which was doing well. But the Americans have some UAVs there, which should help, but I don't know what they are doing. They came for a little while and then went back. And then the Turkish also have some system there, UAVs. If they were all coordinating, there would be no problem, but they don't. So I was speaking with those people there, Major General Okiding, who is the force commander, and another brigadier called Brigadier Omola. And I was telling them that if the Turkish and the Americans don't want to support our ground forces, we shall support them ourselves. We shall find a way of intervening more decisively, like we did with the ADF. ADF is crushed here in Congo. But this business of not listening to the NRA, because Uganda would never have come up to here if we had the mercenary attitude of selfishness, of money, of what. But of course, it's a good lesson for our people. They are going to wake up. We are sorry about the death, but it is because of, it's not Al-Shabaab, it is our internal weaknesses which must be addressed.
Well, that particular information was to do with His Excellency expressing deep concern and determination in the face of the recent attack by Al-Shabaab on the Uganda People's Defense Forces, that is in Somalia. That is to do with a statement that was sent out to the media. The President was making it clear that their silence would soon regret the day they crossed paths with the UPDF. Now, an earlier update that we did air out, that is to do with His Excellency President Yoweri Museveni cautioning members of the National Resistance Movement, NRM Parliamentary Caucus, about using their own money in the areas they lead, saying it is a huge mistake which creates leaders who are indebted. The President, in the company of the First Lady, Mama Janet Kataha Museveni, was today opening a 10-day NRM Parliamentary Caucus retreat at the National Army Leadership Institute, Nlali in Chankwanzi.
Over 350 members of parliament from the ruling National Resistance Movement, including the party members of the Central Executive Committee, have camped at National Leadership Institute, Chankwanzi, for a 10-day retreat. That 10-day retreat kicked off this Sunday with prayers led by the Member of Parliament for Gulu East constituency, Charles Onen. I have decided to follow Jesus, no turning back, no turning back. later in the afternoon, the caucus was officially opened by the chairman of the party, President Museveni.
The Minister for President and the Director, Nali.
In remarks, he says he has suspected that the attack on the UPDF base in Somalia by Al-Shabaab is caused by corruption by the top army officers.
One of the suspect factors in that incident could be again corruption by some of these new players in the army.
Museveni further explained that the top army officers are being corrupted by the less trained officers to go to Somalia instead of taking their highly trained officers.
But it seems at some stage, some of the people who organize, they put these bodyguards, secretary, I don't know what you call them, these who are around here, personal assistant, I don't know what. They put their names there, create sort of ad hoc, instead of having integral units, they create ad hoc groups made of bodyguards, made of what? People from cooks.
On the retreat, the president urged the legislators to support his ideology of transforming Uganda through wealth creation.
What I want to talk to you about is ideological, strategic, policy, and implementation cohesion. Those 4 words.
The vice president, retired Major Jessica Alupo, urged the legislators to be open to learn from the retreat to improve their leadership skills and for better service delivery to the people.
As I have seen the topics which we are going to be taken through, and I highly believe that they will enhance us as NRM leaders and enable us to upgrade our leadership skills more than before. We are very enthusiastic and looking forward to the presentations.
The members of parliament want the president to use the opportunity of the retreat to explain more on how the Paris development model will benefit the people, address corruption and recent gun violence.
My expectations are that this should be a consultative retreat where leaders are going to have the opportunity to discuss our legislative agenda as the NRM, to review our policies and government programs like the parish development model, and see how we can make them more applicable and impactful to the people.
What I'm expecting from our His Excellency General Museveni to address the issue of the insecurity. Because if you try to see, in this country, there's already fear. Because people are killing themselves, this means there's something wrong.
A lot of stories have been talked about in the special regions in as far as relief management is concerned, in as far as managing of the PDM resources. So there are issues of corruption that have been talked about. We will discuss very honestly and openly as a party.
Baguta for UBC News in Chankwanzi.
In more news, following the allegations in the media that some courses and programs expired in the last 5 years, the Minister for Education and Sports, General Museveni, has reassured the general public that qualifications awarded by higher education institutions in the country are valid. However, the minister encouraged higher institutions of learning always to work tirelessly, periodically, with National Council of Higher Education to make sure reassessment is done for these programs.
We thank Cool Events for providing us with the public address system, and we thank you, our dear parents, for staying.
The Minister of Education and Sports has reassured Ugandans who undertook courses presumed to be expired at higher institutions of learning that their qualifications are still valid. The Minister of Education and Sports, Janet Museveni, however, asked universities to work with the National Council of Higher Education to reassess programs occasionally. This was contained by the speech read by her by the State Minister for Higher Education, Dr. John Chrysostom Muyingo, at the 29th graduation ceremony of Mbarara University of Science and Technology, held at Kihumuro campus, Mbarara City.
I want to use this opportunity to assure the graduating class today, and their parents, and the general public, that qualifications from all programs that have received prior accreditation, they are all valid. Your degrees are safe. They are going to be recognized, and they are recognized highly, as I said before. The National Council for Higher Education requires institutions to submit programs for your assessment periodically. It's a good practice, and it's done all over the world.
Over 4,000 graduates were awarded PhDs, masters, degrees, bachelors and diplomas in various science courses at the university. However, he encouraged graduates to utilize the skills achieved to be job creators and exploit the skills to the best of their abilities. The graduation ceremony was presided over by the University Chancellor, Professor Charles Olweny, who commended the NRM government for the conducive environment in education. The best graduates were awarded prizes and medals.
We appreciate the efforts of the government in ensuring that the national cake is shared equitably. However, the future of the country lies on the production of a fit-for-purpose workforce.
The Vice-Chancellor Mbarara University, Professor Celestino Obua, commended President Museveni for the vision of establishing Mbarara University and reassured the general public that qualifications awarded at the university are valid.
I will be able to touch as many lives through treating many patients. I've just gotten my Bachelor's of Medicine and Surgery from Mbarara University of Science and Technology. Currently, I'm going to be joining in for my internship, hopefully in a month or two. And during that time, I'll be able to treat different patients, different ailments across Uganda, based on where I'll be placed.
Achieving my master's in mathematics, the country should expect great mathematicians in very many fields, because as mathematicians, we do come up with models of very many diseases.
Sada Mubale, Fred Kasibante, UBC News.
Border riders in Kira municipality in Namugongo division have urged passengers to be vigilant against the increase in number of thieves ahead of the Martyrs' Day slated for 3rd June 2023. They urged government to add more security men during this period to fight these criminals.
Uganda Martyrs' Day is officially marked every 3rd of June annually. This religious festival has been observed since 1975 and is of great significance to Ugandans. The rise in crime is, however, becoming a mismatch with the serenity that is usually enjoyed on a such historic occasion. As pilgrims flock Namugongo Martyrs' Shrine in veneration of the 45 martyrs who died for their faith, fraudsters also swarm the area to steal from the innocent travelers.
Tukyalina okusomozebwa kunene mu mulimu guno gwa bodaboda olwabo abamenyi b'amateeka abagwerimbiseemu nawo tugezezza kusobola okulaba nga tubalwanyisa naye tulinawo tutuuse tulaba nga twetaaga sapoti.
Bodaboda riders around the holy site say that the fraudsters are skilled in deception and they apply to hoodwink the pilgrims and other innocent travelers.
Kalina ababoda bannange begayidde oli wagamba sene nnyingi ng'ate olugendo laba tezigendawo sene nga oyo mugobe bugobi agende.
The chairperson of Namugongo Nsao area, Sendaula Michael, says that thieves tend to increase as the day draws nearer. Bodaboda riders and the village chairman in Namugongo have urged government to increase the number of security men during the current holiday season to curb crime. They urged passengers to be vigilant during the holidays. It is for this reason that boda riders have reverted to using reflector jackets, with their phone numbers to be distributed at various boda stages in Kira municipality to curb criminality.
Now moving on, the Bishop of Central Buganda, the retired Reverend Michael Lubowa, has advised priests to cooperate with government to enable them access resources to enhance services for their people. This was during the installation of the St. John Kasaka's provost and ordaining of 45 deacons during a function held at Central Buganda Diocese in Gomba District.
It was a moment of joy at St. John Church Kasaka, the headquarters of Central Buganda Diocese, as 45 deacons and 7 priests were ordained and installed. The Bishop of Central Buganda Diocese, the Right Reverend Michael Lubowa, officiated the ordination, beginning with the installation of Diocese Provost, Venerable Wilberforce Mel Mugabi, and ordained 45 deacons and 7 priests. The preacher of the day, Reverend Caleb Wamuranzechi, advised the deacons to help in the campaign against the vice of homosexuality. Among the ordained was the father of Colonel Edith Nakalema, who has served as a priest for the last 40 years.
I thank God that lifted me to this stage, and I thank the Church of Uganda to think about me and grant to me this holy gift of priesthood. It's a gift from God. Therefore, I will use my gift to uphold my elders, my elderly fellow to this ministry of elderly ministry.
Colonel Nakalema applauded everyone who contributed to the efforts of her father to achieve this victory. Nakalema's family and friends contributed 3 million as support to the church.
And we thank God so much that He has been so good to us as a family and as Ugandans. We are proud to see the elderly being elevated. It gives them great joy and it honors God too, because they have served faithfully and we are grateful to God.
The bishop appreciated President Museveni's contribution to the development of Gomba district. He disclosed that as Central Buganda Diocese, they stand with President Museveni come 2026 elections. The State Minister for Internal Affairs, General David Muhozi, attended the service. Sada Mubale, Andrew Sebira, UBC News.
The 2-month registration exercise for 2023 candidates is coming to an end on Wednesday, 31st May 2023. And for those candidates who will fail to meet this deadline will be required to foot extra costs for late registration. UNEP spokesperson Jennifer Kalule Musamba has been speaking to UBC this Sunday evening.
I want to make this very clear that not everybody who is in P7 or Senior 4 or Senior 6 is a candidate until they are duly registered.
The Uganda National Examinations Board UNEB is reminding candidates that the registration exercise for 2023 candidates at all levels will end on Wednesday, 31st May 2023.
So far so good. I want to thank everybody who has been part of this process. we have a good number of our primary centers which have actually registered their candidates. We have a total of 14,259 centers for primary living examinations, and out of these, 85% have already registered their candidates. And then at UCE level, we have a total of 3,750 50 centers, and out of these, 60% have registered their candidates. And at USCE level, at senior 6, we have a total of 2,207 centers, and out of these, about 50% of the schools have been able to register their candidates.
According to UNEP, for the late registration exercise that will commence on 1st June, will come along with extra costs for candidates at all levels.
Beyond 31st May, you have to pay a surcharge. For the P7, surcharge is going to be 100%. And then for senior 4, and that is for the month of June, surcharge will be 50% and 50% even for senior 6. However, in July, the surcharge is going to be 100% across board. That is for P7, for senior 4, and for senior 6. And beyond July, we're not going to be registering any candidates.
It is on this backdrop that UNEB is calling for compliance from all stakeholders.
Our period for normal registration ends on Wednesday, the 31st of May, and we want to urge everybody who is concerned to make sure you do your role. Let's support our learners to register in this time. This is when they're going to register without having to pay for a surcharge.
It is, however, emphasized that the registration charges are still at shillings 34,000 for primary 7 candidates, 164,000 for senior 4, and 186,000 for senior 6.
However, the schools have some administrative costs that they have to take care of. So they may add something minimal to make sure they take care of those costs. And we've been urging the schools not to overcharge the parents. We know some of you have been doing it, but that you've been doing it outside the law. So please try your level best not to overcharge our parents. At this point in time, everybody needs whatever they need to try and support our learners.
UNEP has also accredited and approved new examination centers.
And this coming week, we are going to do the training for the new centers. For the secondary centers, training is going to be on Wednesday and on Thursday. That is 31st of May and the 1st of June. We are going to train the teams that are going to be registering the candidates, and thereafter we shall give them a period when they are going to register their candidates. So for the head teachers, for the directors who are in charge of the new centers, we urge you to please keep collecting the biodata for the learners, and after training, you'll be able to upload your data. We are going to give you different deadlines apart from what's there for everybody else. For the primary new centers, we are going to start training on the 2nd of June, and then go through to the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th of June.
As of Sunday, 28th May 2023, over 70% of the target centers has so far graced the registration exercise, according to UNEB. Robert Nyango, UBC News.
May you give their parents enough money so that they can pay school fees?
A lovely prayer it is. Now, another activities of the day, the Vicar General of Maseru Catholic Diocese in Lesotho, Monsignor Isaac Modis, has challenged Christians in Uganda to nurture a culture of being grateful and giving thanks to God as opposed to waiting to pray to God in times of problems. Monsignor Modis, who is in Uganda for a month-long visit, was presiding over a Thanksgiving Mass for the family members of the late Elizias Kalevu in Seta, Gwafosa Parish, that is in Namiryango Parish, Lugazi Diocese.
Celebration in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
According to the Holy Scriptures, Christians are encouraged to be grateful and in return give thanks to the Lord upon achieving something good in life. However, despite the teachings in the same reading, many Christians in Uganda still seek God's indulgence in times of trouble and immediately forget when they are out of trouble. This was contained in the homily delivered by the Vicar General of Maseru Catholic Diocese in Lesotho, Monsignor Isaac Modise, during a Thanksgiving Mass in Seta, Gwafosa Parish, Namiryango Parish, Lugazi Diocese.
This family has reminded us that we have to give thanks to God. Like now, as we are gathered, Whenever we are facing hard problems, we say, thank God, may we please deliver us from these problems. But once we get out of it, we forget about God.
Monsignor Modise, who is in Uganda for a one-month visit, will also attend the Uganda Matters celebrations, where one of the Uganda Matters, Joseph Balikudembe, is patron saint in one of the parishes in Maseru Diocese.
In the cathedral in Maseru, at the altar of the Metropolitan Parish, lies some of the relics, or what you can call some of the remains or some of the parts of the martyrs. So it is a very significant occasion for him to come and see the place where the martyrs were killed and have that attachment to the diocese back home.
Meanwhile, in appreciation of his visit, Monsignor Modise was named Katongole and inducted in the Nte clan. The Mass was graced with Legion of Mary Lugazi Diocesan Choir and several dignitaries, among others. I'm Nafka Farida and Juko Collins.
Moving on, educationalists have urged parents to encourage their children to join vocational training institutes and acquire skills to help bridge the unemployment gap. This was during the graduation ceremony held at Iganga Vocational Training Institute in Iganga District.
It was joy and happiness as hundreds graduated in different disciplines at Iganga Vocational Training Institute.
We have trained them. We have given them everything it takes to excel in the world of work. It is true we have given them skills, but also we have given them the marketing skills of their skills. So these are not graduates who are going out there not to have jobs. These are graduates actually who already have jobs.
Officials from the Ministry of Education who officiated the event urged graduates to exhibit disciplines as they enter the next sphere of life.
What's important today, that this training you have received requires you to be honest. Nowadays there's a saying that without money you cannot do anything. But the youngsters here today, I encourage you to remember, this money which people have today do not grow on orchards.
The Executive Secretary from Uganda Business and Technical Examination Board, Dr. Wilfred Nahamia, urged parents to employ their children to join technical schools for productive skills to bridge the gap of unemployment.
There are a number of things that are changing. And sometimes our tradition is that we have to move on, get a certificate, a degree, but most people have been emphasizing the degree. And sometimes with in some cases where the planning is not okay, people have got the degrees, but they do not have the jobs, they do not have what to do. But with vocational education and training and assessment, it's slightly different in terms of job sustainability, in terms of getting what to do, in terms of gainful employment, in terms of our children getting engaged, more so the youth. You are likely to have more advantages with vocational education than holding the degrees.
Educationists also appealed to Parliament of Uganda to discuss the Early Childhood Education Policy Program, which was petitioned to Parliament, but till date has never been discussed.
We have already petitioned the Parliament about this, and our petition still lies idle in the Education Committee of Parliament. I do appeal to the chairperson of the Education Committee of Parliament to find the time and hear the stakeholders in this petition, so that a law that regulates properly the early childhood development sector in Uganda is enacted. This will be very important for the sector of early childhood development.
So we think that for the purposes of transforming this country, Uganda,
the government and Ugandans would put more emphasis on early childhood education and give it a priority for the betterment of our country, Uganda.
Graduates are optimistic that the skills they acquired will help them in their fields of work.
I want to appreciate God for having succeeded or completed this course successfully. Sure, Uganda Vocational Training Institute has made me, now I'm different.
I'm very happy because of my course, and I'm proud. I'm ready to work if the opportunity is there.
Sada Mubale, UBC News, Kampala.
19 teenage mothers in Baseruka, Hoima, near Kabalega International Airport acquire skills and vocational training. 19 teenage mothers, that is in Hoima. Now they are dropping out of school. That is an issue that is being addressed. And according to the Hoima District Community Development Officer, Ebong Kenneth, girls below the age of 15 and 19 years who get pregnant is worrying. It's a worrying issue that is in Hoima District.
This is the 7th epicenter established by the Hunger Project to attain self-reliance. It comprises of the medical facility at the level of the Health Center 3, a nursery school, a village bank, and a food bank.
Have discussed and agreed with the district to take over the host facility, but also to equip it further to ensure that people can be able to have good health by accessing health services. But also we know the circle is a very critical one. It's building on the PDM strategy as a vehicle of delivering National Development Plan 3. But also we know when people have income, access some seed capital, they can be able to get involved in productive activities.
The partnership between the Hunger Project and the local leaders is the foundation for the success and sustainability of this social-inspired project.
The community, I pledge on behalf of the leadership of Nyabushozi and Chiruhura, we shall look after this facility so well, use it, we shall continue using it to empower, to skill our people and empower them to make sure it is more productive, it continues being productive and helps our community to even do much better.
Project government yon. This is what we are supposed to do as government. Bakwatira education sector.
A memorandum of understanding has been signed to symbolize transfer of management from the Hunger Project to the district on behalf of the community.
Itwinka district, we are going to integrate all these departments to stay on department C2 is their district, because all of them, they are linked to our mandates in our respective departments.
The acting country director, Hunger Project, Gerard Kato, is optimistic of the capacity built in the community and committed extra 2 years of supervision.
This land here, 5-acre land, was given to us by the district leadership. And they have the infrastructure, they have the human resources, they have the capacity to continue sustaining these interventions, but also to provide support and technical support to ensure that these services continue serving the common person in this Keshung community.
The Keshung Epicenter managers have been equipped with the leadership skills and capacity to attract investors to enhance already established value addition programs and other income-generating activities in the community. Abdul Nasser Lubwama for UBC.
Well, Abdul Nasser's story had to do with the Hunger Project that was handed over, just a full facts there. It was handed over to the health center, that is Health Center 111, to the district of Kiruhura for sustainability after 5 years of management. Now, this is the main component of the Keshunga 2.2 billion Uganda shillings epicenter that was established by the Hunger Project, which is now under the full control of the district. And leaders right there have committed to integrate the epicenter into the structures of the district for sustainability. We wanted you to have the right facts. Now returning shortly after these messages for business updates, and that will include our earlier update that I just read out to you, that is to do with vocational skills.
Jerry con. Jerry con. Hey, Master Blaster. Touch him, man. Bang Jerry con with muscle. Those ones who say caucus for children only. Mundava. Best school fees I teach you. When I go to the school, because of the cover is very far. Is you serious? It's serious you. What? Yeah? You step it on it. Add kilometers to your legs and you get your sugar. We buy meat from Umaru and Umaru refuse to give you enough meat. Mama! Show him that they don't joke with you. Umaru,
okukakaluka n'okulungi kwetaagako omuntu akuyambako n'olwekyo tujja kukuteerawo embeera esaanidde osobole okukola ekisinga awamu teri kitulema.
The Ministry of Health will conduct yellow fever preventive mass vaccination campaign for all persons aged 9 months up to 60 years. These people should have never been vaccinated against yellow fever. The yellow fever campaign will be conducted in phases, with the first phase covering districts in the regions of Arua, Gulu, Lira, Kabare, Kabarore, and Hoima. The campaign will begin on the 9th of June and end on the 13th of June 2023 and will be conducted in all government health facilities and outreach posts. All parents and caregivers are requested to take their children aged 9 months to the nearest health facility and outreach posts to get vaccinated against yellow fever disease. All adults aged up to 60 years but have never been vaccinated should go to health facilities and vaccination outreach posts to get vaccinated against yellow fever. Ministry of Health calls upon everybody to report any person who presents with signs and symptoms such as yellowing of eyes, fever, headache, muscle pain, feeling of vomiting or nausea, vomiting, and general body weakness or fatigue to the nearest health facility or health worker immediately for medical attention. This could be yellow fever. Yellow fever vaccine is a single dose given once in a lifetime. The yellow fever vaccine is safe, effective, and free. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health with support from Gavi and partners.
This is the University of Africa. On the streets, you get your real education. Here, everybody has a degree of something. But the most important qualification is imagination. Her reason to imagine is slay. His reason is to be the GOAT. Theirs is to take the beat and make it lit. They want to test edgy until it is fire. Their reason for imagination is to add riz in style. Her reason to imagine is finesse. And hers is to find what's new and bussin'. So no matter what your situation, just use your imagination.
This isn't just a girl. She is the future. This is a teacher, a doctor, a community leader, our future president. She is the hope of our community. And as a community leader, I will talk to others about how we must protect her against child marriage and teenage pregnancy because it affects us all. We each have a role to play in empowering our teenage girls to protect them from pregnancy. Because when we empower them, we empower our nation. Protect the girl, save the nation.
Take action. Report any case of defilement or child marriage to the police or call Sawuti 116.
Did you know that you can safely and conveniently make your school fees payments anytime, any school, anywhere using Airtel Money? Oh yes! Simply pick up your phone and dial *185#. Select option 6, school fees. Choose between school pay, peg pay, or shore pay. Enter student number. Enter amount, confirm name and transaction. Enter Airtel Money PIN. A confirmation message will be sent to you upon a successful transaction. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Juko. Yo. Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the parish development model, PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a poultry project, and now things are moving.
Joko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
This is a quick call. I'm almost out of minutes. Now, the center.
Why rush through such important conversations? Airtel Uganda has made it possible for you to call across all networks in Uganda at the best rates with the new Bona voice bundles. Stay connected anytime, anywhere, with minutes valid for calls on all networks. Dial *100*1#. Select voice bundles and select Bona voice bundles today.
Airtel, a reason to imagine.
Welcome back. Good to know you're still watching and following this newscast. Now, getting to our business updates this evening, just a reminder of a story that we earlier on looked at, that is to do with vocational skills. When seeing the 19 teenage mothers in Buseruka, Hoimania, Kabalega International Airport acquiring a skills and vocational training. That is because they wanted to address the challenge of school dropouts. Now, according to the Hoima District Community Development Officer, Ebon Kenneth, the girls below the age of between 15 and 19 years who get pregnant is worrying in the district.
Hoima District Community Development Officer Kenneth Obong says the number of teenage pregnancies is worrying, which needs much attention by both district and the parents. Obong was attending the graduation ceremony of teenage mothers in Buseruka, Kabare in Hoima District.
The growing trend of teenage pregnancy among our girls. Most of them have dropped out of schools, and when you move around, you see a trend of young mothers all over the streets. All the markets, you see them carry young babies, some are pregnant. This has been largely a neglect by the parents. They don't have time for the children. They are not befriending their daughters. They are not befriending their girls. They are not guiding them generally.
Some of the teenage mothers, identified as Barbara, Tono, Eva, aged 20 years, got pregnant, something that angered their parents who stopped paying their fees. Tono has now acquired a certificate in tailoring and wants to start an income-generating activity. She calls upon fellow teenage mothers not to lose hope. Hoima Chief Administrative Officer Charles Komaket says the project has given hope to teenage mothers. He appreciated SBC and appealed to mothers who have attained this training to use it.
Because the training they've gone through has been a thorough one for 6 months, and they've acquired quite a number of good skills that when we look at what they've displayed, which they made during the training, is quite wonderful and is worth putting into use.
The Public Relations Officer SBC, Amos Murisa, says the influx of people in the area has escalated teenage pregnancies.
Because of the population that flocked to this area because of the project, the single mothers are very vulnerable, and we found they could fall into many other activities that would endanger their lives. So we decided to skill them, to empower them, so that if a young mother is trained in tailoring or fashion designing, she can begin her own small-scale business which can sustain her, and this would help her not to go around main over the project or start doing some activities that would endanger their lives.
Now, still looking at business, the East African Business Council Uganda chapter has received goodwill ambassadors to advance the voice of the private sector, not only in the region, but to the rest of Africa and beyond. The private sector has been fronted as key in the integration of the East African community.
The East African Business Council works to foster an enabling business environment to promote the private sector's regional and global competitiveness in trade and investment. The business community uses the platform to front their interests at the East African Community Policy level. The East African Business Council Uganda chapter has welcomed goodwill ambassadors, including Dr. Marian Sebunya and Olive Chigongo. The chairperson, East African Business Council, Simon Kahiru, welcomed the new members.
Very carefully selected to advance the cause not just of the East African Business Council as an organization, but of the private sector at all levels. And this morning we have had a very good interaction where we received further wisdom from the goodwill ambassadors and guidance, which guidance is going to serve to direct the actions of the current leaders of the organization here in Uganda, but also of the leaders of the rest of the private sector associations in this country, so that Uganda takes its rightful position in the East African community, but also so that the East African community takes its rightful position in Africa and the rest of the world.
The Council is striving to promote tax harmonization in the region, but also remove barriers to trade.
Goods that are produced within the community should enjoy free circulation within the community, should not be subjected to a lot of hurdles. We are also pushing for the digital stamp tax that has been also a challenge in terms of our beverage sector. And we are trying also to push for the tax harmonization across, domestic tax harmonization across the EAC, and we are making a very positive strides within that aspect.
The intra-regional trade currently stands at 21% of the total trade, and member countries are encouraged to ensure that this grows bigger by promoting Buy East Africa, Build East Africa. Adiana Kuti, UBC.
Did you know that you can safely and conveniently make your school fees payments anytime, any school, anywhere using Airtel Money? Oh yes! Simply pick up your phone and dial *185#. Select option 6, school fees. Choose between school pay, peg pay, or shore pay. Enter student number. Enter amount, confirm name and transaction. Enter Airtel Money PIN. A confirmation message will be sent to you upon a successful transaction. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
This is the University of Africa. On the streets, you get your real education. Here, everybody has a degree of something. But the most important qualification is imagination. Her reason to imagine is slay. His reason is to be the GOAT. Theirs is to take the beat and make it lit. They want to test edgy till it is fire. Their reason for imagination is to add riz in style. Her reason to imagine is finesse. And hers is to find what's new and bussin'. So no matter what your situation, just use your imagination.
Good to know you're still watching. Welcome back from those messages coming to you live from Broadcast House, Nile Avenue. Now to sports. Hundreds of runners gathered at Kingdom Kampala for the ABSA 7 Hills Run. Though some ran for fitness and wellness, many ran for the noble cause to keep the girl child in school.
Elite runners, corporate companies and natives gathered Sunday morning for the ABSA Kampala 7 Hills Run. The 21-kilometer race flagged off at Kingdom Kampala Nakasero through Nile Avenue to Chadondo Road, onto Nakasero Hill Road, and then down to Chaga Road, Namrembe Road, Albert Cook Road to Lubaga Road.
The turnout was amazing. Being our first inaugural run, it was amazing. We actually ran out of kits, and clearly we need to anticipate the demand better next time. But being the first one, I think there are lots of learnings. We shall do much even greater next time round. But it's been a wonderful, tremendous support for the girl child this time round.
The run geared towards promoting physical wellness, while proceeds from the event go towards supporting the girl child education initiatives, a key component of ABSA's community promises to be an active force for good.
And we are very honored that as ABSA with the Kampala Hashers, we are excited that we are bringing the 7 Hills ABSA Run. And the initiative is to purpose to bring the girl child into education. The key cause, I think we looked around and felt that coming from COVID, the challenges the girl child faced, and the fact that we have a community that is responsible, we put this initiative together and we've been collecting money for the girl child's education. We are very honored and excited. Clearly, it's also to keep us fit. Some of us sit in offices and we probably just spend our times behind the desk. It's a great opportunity for the Kampala people to just get fit and well in their bodies.
Apart from keeping the girl child in school, providing skills training to teenage mothers to enable them earn a sustainable living, and strengthening menstrual hygiene management to manage school absenteeism and dropout rates among girls is key to the run.
At a certain point, when we reached 5 kilometers, when we were almost reaching here, I was like, should I board a border? But then I was like, I'm soon finishing. Then I finished.
Girls are empowered. They go to school and then they get empowered, and then they are able to build a better nation. They're able to instill good values into the kids and to the families. And then they're able to, after school, they're able to get jobs, and then they help to build towards the economic development of the nation.
Despite high levels of enrollment, recent data shows that only 53% of Ugandan girls aged 6 to 12 complete the required 7 years of primary education, and merely 22.5% of the female Ugandan population enroll in secondary education.
Most sports talk. I&M Bank has committed continued support to golf in Uganda with targets on sponsoring any individual that excels to get global acclaim. This was reiterated during the Serena Golf Resort and Spa month of May. Mag of Marks that also witnessed a reward for members Order of Merit in the Serena 63 Golf Series.
Lake Victoria Serena Golf Resort and Spa in Kigo has yet again provided a quality event with 97 participants partaking of the month of May Mag of Mugs.
Very excellent course, and we are enjoying. So today is a Korean tournament, not Uganda tournament.
In the action, Lena Halai bettered all other members with her score of 39, winning her the overall crown, onto which she added the 63 series subsidiary winner. Men's Group A winner was Ronald Kasige, while Innocent Nahamia, who was the best guest player, bettered all others in Group B. Among the women members of Lake Victoria Serena Golf Resort and Spa, Maria Odido was the best, followed by Kate Kabenge. The nearest to the pin was Basa Bosa. Jordan Varner was best among the juniors, while George Incha scooped the longest drive. The organizers used this occasion to reward the Serena 63 subsidiary series Order of Merit for this tournament that has landed I&M Bank sponsorship.
As I&M, our brand promise is we're on our customer side, we're on your side.
So we want to make the banking experience convenient, simple, and flexible for our customers. So what we want is always to give our customers convenience. And for us to do that, we have to earn the trust of our customers and credibility, and that's why we are coming to them to interact with them and show them that we're on your side. Because as customers, they look for a financial partner that is on their side, that understands their needs, that has products that are going to be able to solve their financial needs. So as I&M, we are here to interact with our customers and tell them that we're on your side, keeping true to our brand promise and being able to deliver on their financial needs.
The Serena 63 Golf Series will be played until December when the overall winner will be named. But at quarterly intervals like this, excellence is rewarded.
We have had amazing golfers. Right from the beginning, we've had very good numbers in terms of registration. Actually, the event has been oversubscribed from what we are targeted not to get. We have seen many people really improving on their games. Like at the beginning, we wanted to see, more people playing better golf. Every other time they are here, and we've seen that.
The top 3 members after 5 rounds are Davida Plendalith, Jadu Patel and Dr. Kato Sebari, while the top 3 guests thus far are Chen, Len Chen Yu, and Robert Ejiku. John Barnes, Centum, UBC News.
Now, more sports updates before we let you go enjoy your evening. Just to welcome you back from Wankulukuku and appreciate you, our viewers, and of course each and every single person who took part in that particular match that we did have today, that derby between UBC and NTV, and of course the match ended with a 1-1-1. But later on, during the penalty session, NTV had 4 goals as well as UBC scoring 3 goals. Right there. Lots of activities did happen. It was a friendly match. I would appreciate you for being part of the match. So it was a pleasure to spend time with you. Thank you so much for always choosing the national broadcaster. Well, for this particular hour, those are some of the updates we had for you. But join me yet again at the hour of 10 p.m. For more news and more activities that did transpire as far as this lovely day, the 28th of May, 2023 is concerned. My name is Sandra Kahunde, and of course, I was joined by my colleague, Mohammed Mugalu, for the sign language interpretation. From the entire team behind the scene, good evening. See you at 10 p.m.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
You are cordially invited to a special screening of my stage play, Biro, this May 28th